Hi, guys, welcome to Project Tuber. Top secrets to happiness. Before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to our channel. Here are 10 secrets to actively pursuing a happier life. They work for all ages, and you'll find that some are outwardly focused while others are more about improving ourselves. However, regardless of the specific happiness hack you opt to try, remember that all of these only work if you're open to them working in the first place. 1. Use the power of community. The concept of community as it relates to happiness is as old as time. Humans have always found comfort in the company of others. But the deep down truth about communal happiness is that it's not about what we're getting out of community, it's about what we're putting into it. Community is a concept that only works when the whole is taken into account, rather than each individual in isolation. 2. Practice gratefulness. The truth is, gratefulness is hard to come by without a little effort. And that shouldn't be surprising. Isn't it always that way with the things that matter? But the fight for gratitude is well worth the effort. Studies have shown a robust association between being grateful and a person's well-being, their happiness. The simple act of having a grateful attitude can help combat nasty things like stress and depression. Help us appreciate the relationships that we often don't cherish enough. And even give little hidden gifts like a better sleep. 3. Volunteer. It's easy to roll our eyes when we hear about volunteering. After all, isn't it just sucking away more of our valuable time? The answer is a resounding no. Not only does volunteering fulfill that community calling that we already touched on, but it also opens doors for us to learn new skills. This is often quite as powerful motivation as a paycheck and can have longer benefits to our lives and feeling good about ourselves. This is on top of it opening new doors and allowing us to network with other like-minded individuals. 4. Spend time with friends and family. A friend represents a relationship that is worthy of attention and which, if tended, can yield genuine happiness in our lives. Family takes that same concept of friendship and cranks it up to 11. The bond between family members is a powerful one. When strained or broken, it can be a huge cause of distress and depression in our lives. Take the time to reach out to your loved ones in meaningful ways. It's as simple as that. 5. Unplug. Study after study shows that happiness isn't something you can purchase or find online. In fact, our constant attention to our devices and our online lifestyles induces anything but happiness. It's important that we take the time to turn off those devices, sign out of those social media accounts, and focus on the loved ones that are right in front of us. If you're anything like so many of us who struggle to balance tech in our lives, it might be a good idea to have a rest day when you don't use any screens. You may even establish hours of the morning and night that you refuse to touch your devices. 6. Let go of expectations. Whether we're aware of it or not, a ridiculous number of our actions are done with set expectations in mind. If we put any amount of blood, sweat, or tears into something, we typically expect to see fairly specific results from the effort. Detaching from these expectations without detaching from the person or event completely is a difficult process to master. But it's not impossible. In fact, some teach that the idea of detachment is often quite misunderstood. Rather than disconnecting or letting go, we must bring ourselves to love more completely. 7. Play like a kid again. It's a fallacy that fun ends in our childhood. It's true, however, that adults of all ages have a plethora of responsibilities, cares, and concerns that must be attended to. But there's a difference between taking care of our responsibilities and letting those responsibilities hamstring our ability to have fun. The simple innocence of a child at play is magical. From matchbox cars and shadow puppets to dancing like you've never danced before. 8. Make it a game. Everyone and their mother knows that exercise is good for fending off depression, which naturally also makes it a good way to help promote happiness. But, honestly, it can be hard to motivate ourselves to get up off the couch and go for a walk. One way that we can help turn the whole exercising and health part of our daily routines into something more attention-grabbing is to turn it into a game. 9. Never stop learning. Pursuing a hobby is an excellent option that enables us to pursue our passions and learn new things at the same time. Some hobbies, like rock climbing, mountain biking, and yoga, can even deal with two birds with one stone, providing a learning experience and helping you get fit at the same time. Of course, there are countless other options as well, depending on your own personal interests. Take some time right now to list off things that you like. Not hobbies themselves, mind you, but actual things that pique your interest, especially ones that you've never been able to pursue. 10. Seek professional help, whenever necessary. Sometimes happiness really can be elusive, no matter what methods we apply. If you're genuinely finding it hard to shake your sluggish, unhappy mindset, you may be dealing with something more serious. There's nothing unusual about this. It's estimated that over 1 out of every 4 adults in the United States suffers from depression, not to mention other mental health struggles. If this is the case for you, it may be a good idea to seek professional help. It's important to understand that this isn't an admission of defeat, but rather a wise move aimed at finding true happiness in the long run. What do you think of our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel and enable notifications so you will be the first to know when we upload a new video. Thank you for watching.